Upon that foundation, we have built the rest of the plan. We have built the rest of the plan. And because I am talking to interns, I am talking to people who've just gotten out of college, out of university. We all know that any country that has made any meaningful development, they have done so by building their human capital. Education is significant. And that is why today, as I talk to these interns, we are giving them an opportunity for you to go and experience in live infrastructure projects, not in simulated environments, in life what you have learned, and to sharpen the skills that you have learned, and to actualize some of the things that you learned in classroom. We have also equally rolled out a whole plan on how to make our education relevant to the requirements of today and the future. We have increased the budget by significant amount from $500 billion in 2022. This year, these members of parliament will tell you, we have a budget of $702 billion for our education sector. Why are we doing that? Because education is important. I see some people try to talk about education. And I want to tell them, in 2022, we had huge challenges in the education sector. We had a chronic shortage of teachers. We had a chronic shortage of classrooms. 21 of our universities were technically insolvent because of funding challenges. Most of our TVETs had serious problems because of funding. I stand here today to tell you that we have sorted out all those issues. Number one, we have hired, as of this January, 100,000 teachers in the last 3 years. No other administration in Kenya's history has done so. We have built 23,000 classrooms. And we have provided resources under our new student-centered model that does not give money to a university. It makes sure that every student is assessed as a student. And we give them scholarships on the basis of need and merit. And ask any vice chancellor today, ask any vice chancellor. They will tell you they can now pay salaries, they can pay their suppliers, they can even pay taxes, and the universities are getting out of insolvency. That is important. We have presided over two very important transitions when we set up the competence-based education, which I believe in 100%, because we must reform our education so that it is in tandem with the requirements of the future. And when we designed the competence-based education, it was supposed to make sure that education does not just be about formal learning and passing exams and that kind of thing. It was about transferring skills, creating knowledge, and making sure that we prepare our human capital for what is right and what is necessary for us to move Kenya to the next level. Today, exams have ceased being a life and death sentence. You accumulate part of your final result over time. Exams today only account for 60%. 40%, everything else accounts for it. There was a time exams were managed by the police because it was life and death. We have removed the police from managing exams. Exams is part of learning. It must not be a life and death issue. So, and I am saying we have presided over 2 transitions from primary school to junior school, and this month from junior school to secondary school. And I did say yesterday that no child should be denied an opportunity to be in class. Why? Because we have provided the resources for them to be taught. For the first time in our schools, capitation that normally gets to schools a month or 2 after schools open, we made sure that capitation was available in school before our students reported in class. And we provided the highest amount, 44 billion. And therefore, if we have provided money for teaching, and we pay the teachers, and we have the classrooms, there is absolutely no reason why anybody would keep our children out of school. And we have said we are going to look into this uniform issue, because uniforms are beginning to be another source of corruption. Some schools charge as high as 38,000 for uniforms. You know? And therefore, I have directed that there is no child who will be kept out of class because of uniform. Even if they have the uniform for the junior school, they can transition to secondary school with that uniform as they wait for the parents to organize themselves. So we are going to work with all the stakeholders, the other stakeholders, to agree so that we don't erect additional impediments to access to education. And that brings me to this meeting. Why are we here? We are here because the people of Kenya told us that among the most serious challenges we have as a nation, in every home, there is a child who has finished Form 4 or college or university, and yet they don't have a job. And because we spend 700 billion shillings every year on education, we must equally think on what happens when the pipeline through education gets out. What do they do? And that is why we designed a concrete, practical, intentional, deliberate program on how to create jobs in Kenya. We have a program running today which we are calling export of labor. And when I talk about export of labor, I am not talking about brain drain. I am talking about Kenyans who go to work abroad for 2-3 years, gain a different experience, and bring it back home and use it